Hello and welcome back to the Edge podcast. I'm Chris, your host, and this podcast is all about talking about leadership, about mentorship, about management in practice, and about lean manufacturing. But today I want to really talk to the coaches of grassroots teams. Now that could be football, it could be rugby, it could be any type of sport that you want to think about. But I want to really delve into the impact that coaching a sport has, both positive and negative, on the coaching staff. Now, primarily in grassroots teams. Now, I'm going to specify more towards football because that's the domain I'm in. But coaches find it really hard to visualize or zoom in on their own player, which is their son, their daughter, their cousin, whatever it may be, somebody who's related to you, the reason why you're doing that coaching. Because grassroots coaching, believe it or not, parents, it's not a paid role. It's a voluntary role. And people like myself give up my time to research new moves, to research some skills, to research team tactics and development, and also to try and get the children of them sporting teams to actually enjoy what they're doing, whilst through some serious learning. I've been doing this for nearly 6 years with my son's team, and I've been doing it for the last 14 months with a set of girls' teams, which my daughter now plays for. And I'm sure you can imagine that the time spent for me to get to coaching sessions, to be there early, to open the pitch up, to make sure that we've got cones out, the girls and the boys are received with a positive attitude. It takes a lot of time and pressure upon the coaching staff. Now, I want to really just focus in on something which has happened to me over the last 5 weeks. Today is the 9th of December that I'm recording this to try and get it out by tonight or tomorrow. But I really want to talk about the power of seeing your own person. Now, what do I mean about that? I mean truly watching your own flesh and blood, if that's why you're part of that team. Now, if you're a grassroots coach and none of the children are your children or related to you, then it might not hit you as hard this episode. But this is more specifically talking to the coaching staff of any football team, rugby team, hockey team that has their own flesh and blood within that team. Because something happened to me 5 weeks ago, which has really made me look at my coaching stance. Nothing bad, but something happened which opened my eyes to the development of my own child, my eldest, and I'm going to specifically talk about my eldest boy. So I've been coaching him for 5 to 6 years now at the grassroots level. They're now at a good standard in the 9v9, which is the under 11s now here in the Staffordshire FA. And it wasn't until 5 weeks ago where I truly sat back and watched my son play. That's sad, because for 5 or 6 years I've been coaching a group of up to 12 boys in that team. There's been moments where I've missed my own son's goals. There's been moments where I've missed my own son's tackles, my own son having shots with his weaker foot, his left foot, celebrating of goals with others. Because as a coach in a team, especially a young team, when you've got substitutions or game changers, as we call them, sat on the bench, where you've got other players that you need to make sure you engage with throughout the game to keep their focus on the game, you miss loads. You absolutely miss loads. And my plea in part of this podcast is out there to parents. The majority of parents will come to a match day or training and they'll watch their child, which is absolutely, their right to do. They're there to see their child become a better version of themselves through coaching and mentoring and, driving really, really high expectations on the football pitch. But what they don't get to see is they don't get to see that coach who's missed the goal. They don't get to see that coach or that manager who is dealing with maybe one of the other children on the sideline because they've been injured and they've been brought off. And then their child goes on to do an amazing run through and strike, and the super strike, and they score top bins. They don't get to see the moment when their child turns around to look at the coach, i.e. I'm talking about my own son, when he scored an absolute banger, and he turns around to have that celebration moment with his teammates and look over at the sideline, and I'm bent over tying someone's shoelaces, or I'm sorting out the defensive line, or I'm talking to the goalkeeper. Parents don't see that. And I just want to highlight that, because whilst coaches and managers of any football team or any sporting team gives up their time to help develop not one person but 12, let's say, in my case, you don't get to appreciate the full team's effort. You watch the match, you analyze it in your head, you're looking at plays, you're looking at set plays, you're reading the way the other team is playing, so you can chat to your team at half time to maybe get them to change their positioning or change the way they're playing or press higher or whatever it is. But coaches and coaching staff, or anyone that's on the sideline for a team, doesn't truly get to see every single person on that pitch. And do you know who the first person that will come off that pitch to give somebody else a chance? It will be the manager's son or the coach's son or daughter. The first person who'll sit on the bench if somebody hasn't started in a while will be the manager's son or daughter and the coach's son or daughter. That might not be for every team, but I know that's quite apparent with our team, because we are quite limited to positional work and who we can put on at what time. And it wasn't until a couple of weeks ago when I'm going to well up here, where I really took stock and started to take my son to a different venue. And he went to a Saturday morning football academy where I sat on the sideline with a cup of tea and watched my son play. And that was the first time I've truly not took my eyes off him for at least 50 minutes while he was playing. And that hits me hard, and it hits me deep, because I am an emotional person. I don't show it all the time. But it hit me hard for the reasons of, does other people understand what a coach of any sport is giving up in their own space? So I'm giving up time for my son and my daughter, who both play at a really good level in football. And I'm giving up that time on the sideline to help a team. And ultimately, football, although there are individuals on the field, it is a team sport. And you try to get them to understand the dynamics of teamwork. And as I alluded to earlier, when somebody's on that run through, or when they're doing an awesome 1-2 pass, or they've overlapped another player and did really good work from the drills that you've been teaching them on the Friday night or the Saturday morning that they've learned from the other play academy, you miss it. You absolutely miss it. So one plea from me, and I'm not finished yet. So one plea for me would be for parents: if you're taking pictures of your children whilst they're doing the sport, or if you're taking pictures of or a video of them on a run, do the coach and the manager a favour. A picture or a video of their child. When was the last time you saw a coach or a manager get his phone out to video record special moments? I'll tell you when. And I'll tell you when we do it. At the start, when we're warming up, we take a few pictures of the boys so we can send them on the WhatsApp group. And at the end, when we're doing trophies or awards. And 9 times out of 10, I miss some of the Player of the Week awards because I'm packing up stuff, or I'm sorting admin out, or whatever for the team, or some boy's got an issue that we want to talk about and he wants to talk with us. So the presentation will go on without us. But we miss so much. And I didn't really realise that, because although I'm absolutely 1,000,000% in the zone with the boys and the girls when they are playing, you can't have your eyes at 9 or 10 people. You can't watch every single tackle. And if something's going on the pitch and you then spot that, say, I don't know, during one of my early stages with the girls' team, one of the keepers doing a handstand in the goals, you have to go and talk to the individual to try and get them to stop stop doing handstands and splits in the goals and to focus on the game. I've been thinking about this for 5 weeks. My son was then invited to go to an advanced player academy, which happens on a Monday night, with a team in the Midlands. And I was ever so proud. I took him there and he was nervous for the first one. And I just said to him, listen, boy, go and play your game. Go and be you. Don't worry about pressures either side. Go in, tackle, be a menace for the ball, and just do your best and enjoy it. And you know what? The very first night he went, although he was nervous and got out of the car and looked at the size of some of the boys he was up against, he was like, wow, I never in 5 years have watched him play so well. I witnessed him being put into different positions. I witnessed him score 2 bangers, top corner off a really good assist and a bottom low corner that the keeper had no chance in. But it wasn't to that moment where I sat back at 8 o'clock at night and just looked and went, wow, who taught you these skills? Wow, who taught you to get into them positions? I know I had something to do with it, but half the stuff that he was pulling off on that night, I was blown away. I was so proud. What a proud dad moment that was. And, any parents that take their children to any extra curriculum football or rugby to the next level, just sit back and watch. Just sit back and watch your own child or brother or sister, whatever it may be, somebody who means something to you, and just sit and watch them. And it takes me back on to what I'm going to do now. I'm going to sit one match per month. I'm going to focus on my children. Again, on Saturday, my little girl went and played at the Wolves training centre. And then she came back, and then we had a quick lunch, and then we went 30 minutes down the road to her proper team match. And again, this hit me hard because I've been thinking about it for 5 weeks. I've not seen my boy play football for a long, long time because I can't focus all my energy and attention just on him. Whereas other parents on the sideline can focus all their energy and attention on their child or their brother or sister or nephew, whatever. You know what I'm talking about. But it happened on Saturday and it kicked me in the teeth again. I had 2 young girls who were messing around behind the line. I was there coaching and managing the team on my own on Saturday because the manager, he couldn't get there. He was other commitments. And I was up against this really good little team. And I was trying to set our positions out and get the girls ready and get them steady. It's but the 8th match competitive-wise. And within a couple of minutes, one of the girls had hit the ball onto the pitch because they were warming up behind me. So I ran onto the pitch and grabbed the ball. As I turned around and walked towards them and said, girls, please try and keep the ball off the pitch. It's not fair on the players. I heard an almighty scream, which was a scream of joy from our parents. And I turned round and we had scored a goal. We'd scored the opening goal. Did I know who scored that goal? No. Do you know who scored that goal? My daughter. My daughter, who I set up as the midfielder, and just told her in the morning, just play football, just you be you, get your body in, get the ball out. If you get space, have a shot. And she scored the goal. And do you know what happened? She was running back to the halfway line with her finger up in the air. So proud. 7 years old. And it wasn't the first one that she'd scored in the league, but it's the first one that I've missed. Because I was dealing with other people's children on the sideline. And that's the sad part about coaching grassroots football or any form of grassroots team where you're continually trying to teach them about discipline. You're continually trying to teach them the laws of the game. You're continually trying to keep them engaged. You don't want to be sat on the sideline for so long because they'll start to get bored. You need to get them rotated. But I missed my daughter's first goal of that match, which we went on to win, which was lovely. My daughter asked me at the end, "Dad, did you see my goal?" And I had to say no. And I saw a glimpse of sadness in her face at that point. Because my God, she was so proud. She was running back from that goal line with her hand in the air, and the smile on her face was unbelievable. And I couldn't lie to her and say, "Of course I saw your goal," because the next thing she would have said, "Well, where did I hit it? How did I get the goal? Did it go in the top bins? Did it not?" She would have questioned me, because she's not stupid. She's very clever. And that really hurt me again on Saturday, which has led me to delivering this podcast for you today. And it's an episode, and it's a tribute to all grassroots coaches, grassroots managers, grassroots referees, anyone really who has got a family member or somebody who they love and believe in on the pitch or on the play area, when they can't focus 100% on them. I know some of my grassroots parents will be listening to this. And my message for you is simple. Again, if you're taking pictures or videos of the children on the football pitch at training, during the warm-up, during the warm-down, the cool-down, during the prize giving at the end of each match, can I just ask you a favour and just to take some pictures for me? And again, if you're a grassroots family member who has nothing to do with the coaching staff and you go and watch matches during the week or this weekend, I urge you just to think about the coaches that are on the sideline, because it is very, very sad. It's very rewarding, but it's also very sad because we do miss so much. And I know, speaking to other coaches in the league that I'm part of, well, the two different leagues, they miss so much. You're busy sorting a whole team out. So the girls are on them 5-a-side at the minute. We've got 9 players, so we're chopping and changing players. We're getting them equal game time. That's all about that type of scenario. In the 9-a-side match, we've got 12 people. So we've always got like a delta of 3. So we've always got 3 that are sat out, or maybe 1 or 2 won't turn up that day. And to be honest, when some of them don't turn up, it's actually quite easier to let the team flow, etc. But we'll get into that in another stage. But my main point for this today was just to create some awareness for people who are not part of the coaching staff, who are not part of the directing staff or the management of the team. And just for you to sit back and understand that the things us coaches are giving up is things that we'll never get back. I'll never get back seeing my daughter's first goal of that match. I'll never get back not seeing my son's hat trick 2 weeks ago, because I only saw 2 of his goals. I'll not get back them moments when I'm setting a pitch up 45 minutes before and my son is sat on his own, dribbling skills, doing shots at the post or the crossbar whilst we're setting up the pitch for the game. I'll never get back that time when we spend an extra 20 minutes at the training ground before anybody turns up to try and make sure that we're there on time, that we've got the stuff, that I've got the right attitude to open up the training session that night, the positive mental attitude. I'm never going to get all that time back. I'm never going to get to see all those matches that I've missed in 6 years of my son. But I am going to try and get better. I am going to try and focus at least once a month on my children when they're playing. And I mean, that might be selfish. And you know what? I really don't care anymore if a parent thinks I'm selfish, because I'm going to focus, because I've missed so much. And I think you as parents, you do a wonderful job bringing your children to football, any sport and activity, because I know the amount of hours and effort goes into you getting there and getting their kit sorted. And I absolutely applaud every single one of you, especially the boys team that I'm part of and the girls team and the development squads that I'm part of. So I do thank you, but I'm going to be selfish at least once a month, maybe once every 2 months. And I'm going to watch my player, because I'm going to watch them and I'm going to speak to them about it after. And I'm going to have so many positive conversations with both my lad and my girl. I again went to a rugby session with my girl, my young girl, who plays football and wants to go and play rugby. to keep fit for football, and she just likes to get dirty. So I watched her on Sunday morning at 9 o'clock, playing for an hour, doing rugby drills on the floor, hitting the bags, doing a little bit of contact just to get them used to it for next year. And she was absolutely buzzing. And I watched 60 minutes of her just rolling around, thumbs up to me. You know, it's her first time ever been at rugby for Stafford Rugby Football Union Club. Thank you very much for having her there. She's excited. She's stoked. A new rugby ball is is arriving today. But yeah, I'm absolutely stoked to be able to watch them now, because I didn't really realize until I took my son to them extra football clubs activity of what I've missed. And I don't think a coach in grassroots football actually understands what they've missed. Maybe this will help jog their memory. Maybe this will help this podcast, if anybody's listening to it from the grassroots community. Maybe this will jog your memory to go, do you know what? I maybe didn't see that goal last week, or I didn't see little Johnny put in that cracking tackle that everybody was talking about after the match. Did you see such and such? Because I was busy putting the water bottles down, or I was busy sorting out the sub bench, or I was busy folding jackets to make sure that they didn't get wet on the inside. That's the things coaches do. We don't get paid for this. We love it because we love sport. We love to see children grow and to become safe in an environment where they can try new things. And that has consequences for us. And it has consequences for me, because I have missed so much. But I just want, again, parents, please, when you're taking pictures, send them to the coach. When you're taking videos, send them to the coach. Please make sure that you get the coach's son or daughter in, because it really means a lot to them. I've seen some pictures come through my WhatsApp group, and to be honest, it's very minimal. But I've seen some where I've just caught a glimpse of my son in full stride, or he's opened up his arms to put in for that tackle, and I didn't see that part. So thanks for bearing with me. I just wanted to get that off my chest, because I absolutely love coaching. I love mentoring, and this slips back onto coaching and mentoring in business. If you are a coach or a mentor inside a business or as a consultant, do you ever go back and see how your coaching has affected the people or the persons that you have coached? If you don't, and you're just going in there to coach them for money and then you walk away, I would really urge you to go back and touch base with your coachees or your mentees and just get in touch with them and say, how are you? What have you been doing? Because sometimes you won't see the benefit of your small coaching efforts or your small mentoring efforts and your small mentoring sessions until you've walked away and come back and re-hit it. So again, keep your eyes open. I want you to enjoy football. I want you to appreciate the coaches, as I know thousands of people appreciate the coaches all around the world, millions of people, because without grassroots coaches, especially for football, it wouldn't happen. Your son or daughter wouldn't be part of a team. Your brother and sister wouldn't be part of a team. Your younger brothers and sisters who are looking up at the elder brother and sister who's playing in that team wouldn't have the chance to step through and become part of a team member themselves. So listen, I don't want you to think that this has been part of a rant. It's been something that I wanted to get uploaded for quite some time now, because it's really important to get things out there in real life. It's not all gravy when you're coaching and mentoring a group of 12, 9, 10 and 11-year-olds. It's stressful. But you can help. You can help by sending them little videos, sending them little pictures back to the coach, and also understanding if that coach is spending some time with their children, just understand that it's because they don't see them all the time. I'm Chris. This is The Age Podcast. Keep learning, keep videoing, and keep taking pictures of your sporting activities and uploading them to the coaches. It really means a lot to them. And please, keep your edge.